We're here in Coleraine today on the River Bann picking up this Botnia Targa 25. This is a 1997 boat powered by a Volvo Penta AD41 200HP Sterndrive diesel engine, and we're going to get the boat back to the showroom, the workshop. We're going to give it a full compound and polish, valet, detail, and have her looking spick and span. I'm a really big fan of these Targa 25s. They're an absolutely fabulous boat. They've got a great following, serious bit of kit, and even though it's 97, you can just tell the build quality on these things. It is dirty because it's sitting at the end of the season here, it's September, but you know, it'll clean up really well. There's another serious boat coming in, but yeah, a really nice boat. And I thought I'd take the opportunity today while it's still on the water to do a quick sea trial video and show you how the boat performs underway. These are a proper boat. Okay, let's throw the lines off, head down the river, quick spin. This one's really well maintained with a good solid service history, starting on the button. All the instruments and everything are working. Okay, so the lines are cast and we're tootling down the river here. So I'll just walk you through the instruments and things while we're at it. So we've got our full suite of Volvo instruments. The wee hour display is making an attempt to work. These are notoriously unreliable, but normally if you leave them on for long enough, that will start showing hours. So hopefully we'll have the hours for you by the time we get around to publishing the video. Temperature hand is just starting to come up. Oil pressure in the middle of the gauge where you want it. Voltmeter showing 13.5 volts, so she's charging okay. Alarm test. So the alarm function is all working. We've got a, what's this? This is a fuel gauge, half a tank of diesel. Service battery voltmeter, it's also at 13.5 volts. A wee crossover switch there. Then you've all your switch gear. We'll go through all this on the showroom tour. But you know, screen demisters and nav lights, anchor light. So far everything I've touched is working, which is good. We've got a Raymarine chart plotter, an RL70C chart plotter with radar. It's working. We've got our speed up here in the corner and it's got a position fix, so this is where we get our speed information from. Bow thruster is also working well. Really handy to have on a little boat like this, so you can park it anywhere. What else do we have up here? We've got a Furuno GPS navigator, so an additional GPS display. This is all of an age with the boat, so it's, you know, it's functional, it's good quality stuff, it's all working still, but you know, you could potentially update this. We've got a speed and depth log up here. The depth is working, whether the speed is, I'm not too sure. We're just tootling here, we're not actually in gear now, we're just carried with a current, so we'll see if this works when we put her into gear. And we've got another depth fish finder, which is a fairly modern looking sort of one there, Garmin Fish Finder 400C, Icon VHF radio up there. Great wheelhouse, great visibility all the way around. You can stick your head out the side as well. Gear shift is nice, steering's nice and light as well, so we've got forward, neutral and reverse, so that's all good. And the other thing actually we have down here is our trim display, or trim control and display, so that's working too. So we've got trimmer up, so it's going up and down, trimming up and down, no problem. And display working, and then trim tab switches as well, so we'll stick the tabs down for getting the boat on the plane. This is me sitting at the helm. So I think you probably can adjust this seat forward. As we raised footrest there, a little bar you can rest your feet on. And then obviously loads of room to stand up, and you've still got great visibility forward. Yeah, that's working now actually. So now we've turned around, we're running into the current, so we've got speed there saying 1.3 knots, that's going to be through the water. 1.8 knots here. So yeah, two speed displays. I'm a big fan of these boats. So it feels like a proper boat. These things are really well screwed together, really well thought out, and even at this age, this thing still feels like a nice solid boat. Still is a nice solid boat. So we're just going to tilt down far enough. We'll get into the get out of the no wake zone, and we'll briefly put her on the plane. We're not going to go out to sea. I don't have time this morning to this day, and it's been around since the 80s, so that goes to show you the appeal of it. But it's a lovely boat. It's got the upper helm station as well. I've been up there, it's working. Also, all the controls up there are working fine too. But we'll stay down here because we've got more instruments, obviously, down at the lower helm. So yeah, so we'll head down here, stick it on plane, see how it goes. So the benefit of tootling down the river for a bit is that the engine's now up to temperature. 160, oil pressure still good, everything else looking good. So we're just passing the end of the marina, so we'll stick it on the plane here now. Now the boat it's been in the water all season. The owner has only used it, I think, once in the last 3 months or something, so hence why it's for sale. So the bottom is dirty, so that's going to be slowing us down a wee bit, but let's give it a bash here and see how we go. Put her up on plane. Obviously with a clean bottom, she should get up quicker than this, but a little bit of bow rise. I have no trim tabs on at the minute. That's us up and away. So we give her a wee bit of tab down the left, just to level her out a wee touch. A touch of trim tab, let's straighten her up. Let's do full speed actually, so 3000 RPM. Everything looks good. We've only got a little short bit of river to work with here between the marinas. So let's just check we're clear. We'll swing her around. So it's getting up on plane pretty quickly there, doing 21.5, almost 22 knots there. I'm sure with a clean bottom and a bit more room to play with, it would get up into the, you know, certainly 25, 27 knots, that type of speed. That's what I would expect to see out of it with the 200 horsepower, but everything looks good. Oil pressures and temperatures are good. Steering and shift is all nice and smooth. Feels super solid. Let's go again. We'll put the trim tabs down this time. Okay, let's go again. That's going to keep the nose flatter in the water. The bow wave is moving forward. That's us up and away. Let's throttle her back, take the tabs off. At about 2000, what are we at, 2700, 2800 RPM. We're on the plane at 14 knots. Us getting more there actually. Let's just do that once more, because I think as we run it here, the bottom is actually cleaning off a wee bit. She's getting faster, which is always good. Let's just do it one more time. So we'll trim back down again. We'll leave the trim tabs where they're set, because she doesn't really need trim tabs to get up on the plane, which is good. And we will hold her at it full throttle. Let's see how we go. Last run. That's us away. a wee bit. So there we go, back down to 6 knots now at 1500 RPM for the no wake zone. This thing is running really good, really good. Oil pressure, or sorry, temperatures bang on steady at 170 Fahrenheit or so. Oil pressure has not dropped below, what's that, 45, 50 psi. Volts are good. Tacho's working, just hoping that wee hour display comes back to life. All the other gauges are all working perfectly. Trim tabs are working perfectly. Drive trim's working perfectly. The instruments are working. The electronics. This is a really nice boat. I do tend to find that with obviously more expensive boats, these boats are, I'm sure to think what they are brand new today, but there'll be lots. And they were really expensive whenever this one was brand new as well for the back in the day. But with more expensive boats, owners tend to be, firstly, they're more experienced boaters usually, so they know how to look after a boat. They know what they look for whenever they're buying one, and they because it's a bigger investment, they tend to treat them a bit better as well. So they get more servicing, things get repaired whenever they need to be. They winter them out of the water and all that type of stuff. So and this boat has all the hallmarks of having led a good life with good owners. The fact that everything's working here and it's running so nicely is testament to that. So lovely boat. I'm a huge fan of these Botnia Targas. This is a nice example. It's going well. We got up to, whenever on the last run there, I just saw just shy of 25 knots. So like that's what I would expect with a dirty bottom as well. So you'll get another couple of knots easy by cleaning it, which we're going to do. So 25 knots flat out at 3600 RPM, and then slow speed cruise if you're going up a river or something like this, 1500 RPM is 6 knots, and then sort of minimum cruising speed, or comfortable cruise, is going to be around about anywhere from 15 to 20 knots. At 2500 or 2600 RPM, we were doing about 15 knots, and we were on the plane. Around about 3000 RPM is going to be like close to 20 knots, so it's going to be able to cover ground quickly when you want it to. That AD41 engine, the 200 horsepower Volvo, they have a reputation as being a bomb-proof motor. They're an old school diesel engine. There's no electronics or anything in them, so they do tend to be reliable. They're easy to fix, easy to maintain as well. And whenever you need a turn of speed to get you home in a hurry or something, it's got that. It'll do it. So lovely boat. we get it back to the showroom. I'm keen to see how it's going to clean up, and I'm pretty confident it's going to look really good by the time we're finished with it. It's going to be nice shine to the gel coat, fresh paint on the bottom, and we'll do a full showroom video tour then. But this is how the boat performs on the water now at the end of the season. We'll probably publish this video first, so if you have any interest in the boat, you want to come and see it before it's advertised to the open market, by all means don't hesitate to give us a shout, and you're welcome to come and see her in the flesh. Hope you found the video useful. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch it.